Hey guys, Silly Detective here. I am going to be talking about Bigfoot today. The only reason why this really came up is because there was a new sighting, and I'm not trying to doubt either way. I'm not either a firm believer, but I'm also not a non-believer. I believe in what the facts are showing. Okay, so I'm going to give a few backstory, origin story, evidence, stuff like that. But first, I want to cover something real quick. I'm very open with you guys of what's going on in my personal life and everything like that. So I'm going to just make this very short, brief thing of I've been having some health issues. My chest has been giving me issues. I've been feeling chest pain, and the day before Thanksgiving I had one so bad that I literally went to the bathroom to get sick afterwards. It was super bad. It lasted for 30 minutes and I am getting checked out by the doctor, but I don't know exactly what's going on. So if I miss a couple posts, that's mainly the reason. I'm trying to keep my stress levels down. I swapped a tea. I did a whole bunch of changes. I'm trying to exercise more. I'm trying to take care of myself. So I'm trying to do better for myself, and I also want to take care of myself for my son. So if I miss a few posts, that is why, but I will keep you updated on what's going on with that. I don't know anything yet. I just finished the 30-day heart monitor and I just did the treadmill test. So we'll see what happens with that. But anyway, let's go ahead and get right into this video about Bigfoot. Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch. He is also known to be a big, hairy, human-like creature, which some believe that he has been seen in the Northwest and Canada. His description is that he has dark hair. He's about 6 foot to about 15 feet, and apparently he smells really bad, moves silently, and makes a high-pitched cry. Now, I finished watching a documentary, right, about this guy, and I was left with more questions than answers because I was watching it, and it was from the 90s. I have a subscription for Mangella, I think that's Mangella TV, and I was watching it, and I was confused about a lot of things, especially since one of the comments was not a comment that really would fly today. As soon as I heard that, my jaw literally dropped. I don't know if you guys know about the documentary that I'm talking about, but it was just one of those, like, he made such a rude comment, and I was just like, that would not fly today. Like, whoa. I told my work partner who I was working with the comment, and he's like, what? And I replayed it and showed him, and he was just like, how did this fly? So his origin story, some say the legend may come from the Himalayan Yeti or from the ancient tales of wild men from coastal Oregon. Others suggest that legend may be based on a giant ape. There is some organizations who are dedicated to trying to find Bigfoot. There's actually a museum in Oregon which is about Bigfoot, and they have all the evidence there and stuff like that. So I find that pretty interesting. I haven't went yet. I've been trying to convince my boyfriend to go with me because he's a very, very sure non-believer about Bigfoot. I'm open to it. So I want to see what kind of stuff that they have. One of the things I learned from this documentary is that there was this dude who lives out in the middle of nowhere, and he had this presence that he felt like someone was there, and he turned around and shined his light, and there was a big man, like, I say man because I forget that there's another term for it, but a big human-like creature standing over there, right? And he shined his light away, and he just like went back inside, and he was like, you know, not gonna bother this creature. And when he came back out the next day, he kept his dogs inside and everything like that, but when he came back the next day, there was a big branch left there, and apparently it was a thing of Native Americans to show, and I'm just quoting from this documentary, to show that humans were there, to show that they were in that area. But for this creature, he thinks it was a thank you, and I was a little bit confused. I'm like, why not just not come back? And apparently it's a crossing area. I don't know. It's the documentary was like all over the damn place. I was like, wait, what? One dude plays drums for Bigfoot to hope that he comes out and listens. I'm like, what? Some people have had sightings that they didn't actually see Bigfoot. They felt him. That was this one dude's experience, is that he felt Bigfoot and he smelled Bigfoot. and he didn't feel alone, so he thought it was Bigfoot. But there's so many other things, like there's other animals that smell foul and things like that. So I'm not 100% convinced that it was Bigfoot. I think maybe he wandered into a area that a murder was happening and he felt endangered because there was a murderer nearby and he was being watched, and maybe the foul smell was a body. I don't know. A couple of years ago I wanted to go try to find Bigfoot, but that fell through, mainly because everyone else fell through. So the evidence that I was just speaking about has mainly been just sightings and pieces of video and footprints and smells. But have you noticed this? Every single video that's possible of Bigfoot is so grainy and gross and stuff, like it doesn't make any sense. Like I was talking about this with a coworker and I said, yeah, imagine we have the clearest view of Bigfoot and we go, oh, hey, grab the camera. No, don't grab the high definition camera. Go ahead and grab the one from the 90s. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. I know it's kind of hard to get footage, especially when you're shaking and you're trying to zoom in and stuff like that. So I understand things like that happens, but every single footage. So one of the legends about Bigfoot is that and this just rubs me the wrong way and I don't know why. So apparently he likes children and steals food. Apparently one thing to get Bigfoot out is if you have children screaming and playing. I don't know how to feel about that. It feels kind of gross. Okay, whatever gets his goat. Some of the sightings of Bigfoot has been anywhere from 1811 to the most recent one of 2024. Okay. And I'm going to be showing some of these videos that I have personally found from the internet, and I'm going to be talking about it. And I'm going to talk about how the newest one doesn't make any sense. Okay. So first of all, the one from 1811, there was a British explorer named David Thompson recorded that he was seeing large unidentified footprints in his journey when he was exploring Alberta, Canada. Then there was another one in 1904 where settlers in Sixes River area of Oregon, they reported to see a hairy wild man. And then there was another one in 1924 where miners, which is a term for grown men who work in a mining area. My grandfather was a miner. They were working in the Mount St. Helens area. They claimed to have been attacked by a giant ape. In 1929, J.W. Burns, he published a collection of stories about the wild men in British Columbia. Then in 1958, there was a worker named Ray. He found plaster casts of a giant footprints near his work site in Northern California. In 1967, Roger and Bob filmed believed to be Bigfoot near where Ray had got his footprints. And most scientists don't believe that Bigfoot's real, but there isn't enough physical evidence to prove if he is or is not real. So that's why I'm still kind of open about it, because there's still these sightings. Let me go ahead and get into the spots where Bigfoot has been sighted. We're going to go from the least likely to the most likely, okay? There's been reports of Bigfoot being sighted in Florida, Ohio, and Illinois. Then there has been sightings of him in Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas. There has been 130 cases in Colorado, 1,600 cases in California, and then there's over 2,000 in Washington state. So I guess if you want a very good chance of seeing Bigfoot, you go to Washington. Which I find is kind of funny because in the documentary that I watched, the guy was saying, you don't go looking for Bigfoot. Bigfoot finds you. I'm like, okay, bro. So what I understood when I wanted things is like, Bigfoot gets curious about things. So he wants to come out and see what you're doing. So for example, if you're kind of lost somewhere or you're having car troubles, he will come out and be like, what are you doing? So one theory I want to do is I want to go to a popular area where Bigfoot has been sighted, and I want to drive my vehicle into the wooded area, and I want to pretend to be fixing my car. Sounds like so many traps and explicit videos. Anyway, I would want to see if that would attract Bigfoot. Okay. If Bigfoot is real, I want to see if that would attract him to come out. But so here is some facts, random or most useful facts about Bigfoot. One of them is, and I know that the other thing I read, it said that he was like 6 to 15 feet. But this one says 6 to 9 feet tall, weighs from 400 to 1,000 pounds. That's almost the size of one of those cans that you put packages in at the airport. I can't think of the word. But anyway, his footprints are apparently 26 inches long and 8 inches wide. However, some of them have little like claw marks at the end. So I don't know if that's just he needs to get his toenails clipped or what's going on with that. His hair is said to be black, brown, or dark reddish. He's supposed to give off a very foul smell. His movements are to be said that he moves silently through the woods. And apparently I heard this thing about how Bigfoot walks, because apparently we walk mainly with like our hips. I don't know how to explain that. I don't want to butcher that. But apparently Bigfoot walks like stiff-legged, like as if he's skiing kind of thing. So if you want to try that out, go ahead. But it's such a weird idea, is that walk stiff-legged. Apparently Bigfoot sounds mainly of grunts, whistling, and scream sounds, which in the documentary they said about what Bigfoot sounds like, and once again I couldn't help but laugh because it legit sounded like a bunch of grown men doing not legal things in the woods and just kind of spoken to a recorder and made a bunch of random noises. That's legit what it sounded like. So I wouldn't believe that. Sorry to the people who actually do believe that, but it just doesn't seem realistic and it sounds a little weird. The eyes of Bigfoot have been said to either be yellow or red, and at night they apparently glow. Other features of Bigfoot is that he has broad shoulders, no visible neck, and long arms. Then also, just a random little tidbit, the FBI investigated in 1977 of a hair sample that was supposed to be from Bigfoot, but when they looked into it, it ended up being a deer. Okay, we're gonna start with the least likely to be Bigfoot, and I'm gonna explain why.
This is the moment a TikToker spotted what they believe is Bigfoot. Describing it as the scariest moment of their life, the user filmed what appears to be a large figure sitting under a tree. Many people in the comments were convinced the encounter was 100% real, while others thought it was just someone in a costume. What do you think?
So let me get into that. It is so unlikely that that is Bigfoot, and here's my reasons why. First of all, why would Bigfoot be sitting underneath a tree playing with a branch? He's around that all the time. Why would he just sit down and start playing with a branch? And why is it when the footage, when the dude, obviously if you saw Bigfoot and he looks at you, you're gonna wanna run, right? But why is it just as soon as he starts to turn all the way, he moves all of a sudden? I think it was a guy in a costume, because it looks way too much like one of those gorilla costumes you can buy. And it just doesn't seem likely. I'm sorry to everyone who thought that it was, but I swear it's fake. I swear it's fake.
Oh, come on inside! Carly!
Okay, originally when I watched that, I only watched part of it, so I thought it was guaranteed fake. But more that I look at it, it might be real, but it kind of goes back to the fact of, wouldn't he run away if he saw humans? But then again, how many times has he been around humans and we just didn't know it? So that is up for the debate. I am not 100% sure if I think that that was a real actual clip or not. She seems, if that was a woman, I'm sorry if you have a naturally high voice if you're a male, legit freaked out and telling, I believe, her child to go inside and didn't move towards it, didn't anything like that. So I think it could be real, because that seems like a logical reaction for a mother to want to protect your child, for one, and to not to interact with whatever it is. And granted, everyone does react differently when they're in a state of fear. I don't know, but we have one more to look at.
We found Bigfoot, and here he is. You can find the following information on bfro.net. It's report number 77771. A daytime sighting was reported on October 13th, 2024 by an individual just south of Forks, Washington, for all you Twilight fans. The witness states that they were driving through a construction area in Highway 101, and as they rounded a part of the highway, they saw Sasquatch roughly 8 to 9 feet tall. Its shoulders seemed to be about 3 feet wide as it walked into the bushes and trees on the side of the road. The movement was sudden and erratic, like it was hurrying, but it pushed aside the alder trees. Within a few steps, we stopped seeing the bushes moving, and it disappeared completely. The witness states its fur was black like a bear, and it moved on 2 legs in a flash. Total time for the sighting was about 5 seconds. Investigator Matt Moneymaker was nice enough to provide these maps on the BFRO report. As you can see, the exact location it was spotted. The location details states between MP 182 and 183 on Highway 101 heading north, past the guy who sells all the chainsaw carvings, but before the construction stoplight. The incident took place on the right-hand side when you're driving north. I've left some details out of this report. You can see them for yourselves, such as witness name and GPS coordinates of the exact sighting by going to bfro.net, and it's report 77771.
77771. So, I believe out of everything, that is the more logical evidence of Bigfoot compared to the other one, because I know that some people's first reaction is to reach for their phone and to record, but I feel like it's more real that there isn't a footage of it, because when you get startled sometimes, you freeze. Your first reaction isn't to, let me get my phone. No, it's not. Sometimes it's first reaction, other ones it's not. So I believe it's more likely. Sometimes I feel like the footage, if it's super clear, kind of like the very first one, the ones that are like super clear, I feel like that one is fake because it doesn't seem realistic. I'm sorry, guys. The first one I can guarantee is 100% fake. And I keep thinking about that video because I'm like, that is so fake. And it gets everyone their hopes up, and that frustrates me because like we want to find things. I know that recently the government has said, oh, there's aliens in the ocean, but unless I see it, I don't believe it. So I am gonna go sometime in the next couple months when I have free time and when things calm down, excuse the heater, when I have time and I'm able to, I want to go to the Bigfoot Museum, and I'm gonna see if they will allow me to do a video there while they give a tour. So I would have to double check with them, but I will go initially to see it, and then I'll ask them about it and then see what their thoughts are. So I will let you guys know about that. So that is basically it for this video. I hope you guys like the different video that I did. I want to do more about the monsters, the more mystical creatures, especially covering like the Yeti and stuff like that. Like I want to talk about so many different things. Yeah, let me know what creature you guys want me to cover next, what video you guys want me to do next, if you guys want me to bring back urban legends. I actually enjoy doing those and I would like to do it again. I recently bought a book called Superstitions, and I would love to point out things in that book because it's so interesting. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys leave a comment, subscribe, stay safe out there, and stay spooky. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.